Okay, we have got our advanced wheel session today. You can do wheel, right? Check. That is why you're here, because you want to expand wheel, you want to feel more comfortable in wheel. We know that we need to have active, lengthened thighs, quads, hip flexors, glute activation, opening up at the side of our scapula, the shoulder blades, opening up of the shoulder mobility and the upper back, everything working in conjunction. So we're going to work on a few more advanced stretches today. If you need to pause, quickly do the intermediate and then come into this because you're feeling a little bit stiff. I can only ever do back bends in the evening. So right now it's the evening and I can't film this in the morning because it just doesn't work for me. So maybe you're that same kind of person and don't feel bad about it. Don't beat yourself up. Okay, grab yourself 2 blocks. We're just going to start off with a nice stretch to start with. We're going to have this block lengthways and the other block, we're going to start off at the same height as the other one to rest our head on, and then we're going to take it out of the equation. Okay, come all the way down, set yourself up on this block. Don't be afraid to have a bit of a wiggle around, get yourself comfortable. So it's right in between the shoulder blades. And we want it to be fairly low down so that you feel this stretch from the upper back, really reaching up and back, allowing the shoulder blades to draw towards one another. I'm going to have my feet in butterfly, but feel free to have them lengthened or just with your feet on the floor, knees up. So feel your shoulders dropping out to the sides. Chest opening. Really allow yourself to be completely supported here. Let go of those glutes. And feel yourself getting heavier and heavier onto these blocks. Okay, if you feel comfortable, either put this block down, the head block down, to a lower setting, or tuck your chin to your chest and remove it completely, allowing your head to hang behind you. You might just need to bring this block slightly further down to give your neck some space. Really relax here. Try not to hold anything into your neck, into the shoulders. Okay, final inhale. Exhale. Slowly tuck your chin to your chest. Roll over to one side. Bring in one block with you. We're just going to do some release of our tissue, our fascia underneath the sides. So place this block just about armpit height and then rest all the way down. One arm propping up that head. This other arm can just be wherever you want it to be. So we're working that side of that scapula, just completely releasing that. Really allow yourself to sink down into the block. It might feel a little bit funny, it might feel a bit uncomfortable, especially if you've got these cork blocks as well. Foam ones, it might feel a little bit more comfortable. Keep sinking down. And with every exhale, just check in with yourself. Just note if you're still kind of holding yourself up here at all. Okay, slowly make your way up. Switching over to the other side. Don't be afraid to have a wiggle around until you get comfortable there. I mean comfortable, not in pain. Okay, inhale, come all the way up. Now, in our wheel pose, we require a lot of mobility from these shoulders, similar to a forearm stand. So we're going to work on the same kind of forearm stand exercise. We've got our block lengthways, our palms are facing into the block, pushing that block in, and our arms are straight up. Now, what you need to think about, and I always cue this, do not stick this rib cage out. That is going to show that you don't have as much mobility in the back as is required for these deeper back bends. So if you start to take the arms up and this rib cage starts to flare, pull everything back into alignment, keeping the hands straight up, hands in line with the shoulders, really nice and straight, pulling the shoulder blades back, pushing the hands into the block. And if you can't do that, that's absolutely okay. Just revisit that intermediate, maybe do some warming up and then come back into this one. Push that block in with the hands and then take the hands and that block down to your back, keeping the elbows squeezing in and up to the sky. Arms all the way high and back. Keeping the rib cage contained, keep pushing the hands into the block. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really nice. All the way down, taking that block away. Coming into our puppy pose, knees and hips in line, walking the hands all the way down, sinking the chest down to the ground. Maybe the chin is on the floor or the forehead. Breathing here. With every exhale, sink that chest further down to the ground, feeling that opening up in the chest, shoulder blades drawing together. Inhale all the way up, coming into our stretches for our quads and our hip flexors, coming into this 90-90 lunge. So we've got right leg forward, knee and ankle in line, left leg back leg is your hip and your knee in line on the left leg. Now think about sitting up nice and tall, and then we're literally going to come into posterior tilt and then anterior tilt. So you tuck your tailbone, draw the hips up to the face. That is going to be a really nice stretch for the left quad and that hip flexor, and then stick the bum out. Draw everything in, squeeze those glutes and back. Keep going. As much as you can, draw the pelvis up to the face. Okay, take 2 more here. Okay, nice. Coming into our lizard lunge with our foot out to the side, bringing this right hand up and over, left foot, drawing that heel into the glutes, keeping this chest nice and open, so the shoulder away from the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together, elbows straight out to the side. Exhale all the way down, switching into that 90-90 lunge onto the other side. Just check that setup once you're there. Coming into that posterior tilt, squeezing that bum, drawing the hips up to the face, and then back. And squeeze. And back. Keep going. Okay, coming into that lizard lunge just for a second, onto the outside of that left foot, left arm up and over, reaching to that right foot, drawing that right heel into the glute. Keeping the chest open, keep pushing the mat away with that right hand. Exhale, final stretch before we come into our back bends. Bring this right foot forward again, with a wider stance low lunge, so taking that left knee further back. Interlace the hands behind you and draw the knuckles down whilst you're reaching this chest through. Keep drawing the knuckles down, just using this upper back, so you're really lifting here. Trying to get the knuckles further and further down. Feeling that stretch through the hip flexor. Switching on to the other side. So right knee slightly further back, so in your really deep lunge here, hands interlaced behind you, draw the knuckles down that back leg, reaching the chest through. All the way up. Bring the left foot back so you can swing all the way around onto your back. Just resting here for a second, feet out to the sides, knees knocking together. Just check in your heart of hearts if you're ready for your back bends. It is not a problem if you're not. This is still some amazing stretching. Okay, so to start with, we're just going to come into our normal wheel, but what I want you to think about is that weight drawing back into the shoulders. So you're thinking about up and back rather than the weight into your toes. Okay, hands behind you, set up for your wheel nice and safely. And think about that weight drawing back so that you've almost got your hands and shoulders in line. So you're drawing through the toes, pushing back, thinking about the index finger and the thumb drawing into the ground, shoulder blades drawing together. Exhale all the way down, tuck the chin to the chest, nice and slowly, really good job. Knock those knees in. Okay, this time what we're going to do, we're going to come up into the wheel, and then we're going to come down, rearrange our hands so they're slightly closer to the feet, and then come back up again. So we've got a shorter stance for this wheel, and we're going to be taking the shoulders closer over the wrists. Okay, get ready. Set up whenever you're ready to go. So up into your wheel, come down onto your foot, onto your head, walk the hands in, and then push all the way up again. Think about that weight going through to the shoulders. All the way down. Really nice. So we're working on opening up that upper back even more, working on this shoulder mobility even more by taking the weight backwards. Okay, this time if you're still with me, we're going to come up, we're going to come down, rearrange the hands, and then we're going to take the weight back, so much so that we can start to straighten up through those legs. Come forward and back, coming through this kind of pulsing effect. Okay, are you ready? And I really want you to push the ground away, ground through the index finger, ground through the big toe, knees together, driving that energy up. Okay, setting up. Rearrange those hands. Straighten up through those legs. Sending that energy through the chest. Really working this shoulder mobility and strength. Oh my gosh, it's impossible to talk up here. All the way down. Really nice. Oh my gosh. Really, really good. Okay, final thing. We're going to come down to our forearms. Now, however ungracefully as you want to do this, How I do it, I wiggle my fingers towards my feet until I'm down onto my forearms. At that point, usually my head is quite close to the ground and I have to really activate and push through the forearms to lift my head back off. Okay, and then we're going to be coming out like we do from wheel. Don't worry if you feel really uncomfortable, especially if this is the first time you're giving this a go. Okay, setting up for your wheel. And then crawl those fingers further towards the feet so that you can come down to the forearms. Try not to be on your hair like I am. And push the energy through those forearms. And slowly tuck the chin to the chest all the way down. Really nice. Okay, no sudden movements here. Knees dropping in, feet out to the sides. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Ever so slowly, hug the knees into the chest. A really simple counter stretch for all of those bends. Come into your happy baby. Exhale all the way down. Okay, just coming into Shavasana for a couple of minutes. Allow your body to be really heavy here. Especially thinking about that back, fully releasing. Okay, starting to bring some movement back into the body. Big stretch. Roll over to one side, bending up the knees. And push all the way up into your seated position. Really good job. Come back into that whenever you need to. Revisit those stretches, go back to your beginner, build back up to advanced. Just make sure you've really got everything in your repertoire and you feel super comfortable in the most amazing back bend, but it sometimes feels really far away. So well done, everyone. Good job.